Hey everyone, welcome to the results video for the parking lot mini contest. Now for this contest I gave everybody a version of my Bumbly Beach map that I made for the RCT One But Beautiful series, and I tasked everyone with creating their own version of a parking lot on this plot of land. So we got 11 entries for this round, so once again I'll start with the one that got last place. And I'll finish by announcing who is the winner of this round. Alright, in 11th place we have this entry from B. Tijikotech. He created this this small but nice parking lot. You can see the road from the town extending to over here and connecting to the parking lot over here. What I quite like is these pedestrian crossing places with these lines and these little gates here. I think that that's actually pretty neat. I also quite like this billboard that he made here, Bumbly Carts, only at Bumbly Beach. So yeah, as for the parking spots themselves, we can see a few other vehicles parked in here. So yeah, it's just a simple and neat parking lot. I think B. Tijikotech did a really nice job here. Okay, then next up we have this version of the parking lot from Carp Runner. Now he went for a completely different style. What I really like about this entry, by the way, is this artwork here at the front with these planters here. There's also some nice little buildings here with a little gate. I think that's all pretty neat. I think it would have been nice if maybe his parking lot actually could house a few more cars. And I'm not really sure if this is the nicest way to do the lines, since it does look a little bit messy. I think on a parking lot usually you'll want some straight lines. But yeah, overall I think it looks pretty nice, but definitely could have been improved a bit. Okay, here's the next entry from ICU. Now by the way, for the people who are wondering how these scores are calculated, basically everybody who's a member of my Discord is allowed to give all these entries a rating, and then in the end we simply take the average score. So that's how all these entries get a score. And what I say here in these videos is simply my opinion. But my opinion is only my vote is only a very small percentage of the score. So just so you know. Anyway, here we have the parking lot from ICU. Yeah, I think the parking lot looks really nice. There's quite a lot of greenery around it as well. Some nice decorations. I quite like these lamps. Yeah, I think the cars themselves, they look a little bit repetitive, and that's probably because the same colors are used every time. Looks like only the main colors were used. So yeah, red, blue, yellow, green, purple, orange. Yeah, so there's actually 28 trains of 6 cars per train. So that's probably why you see the same colors repeating every time. So probably with some more colors used, probably it would have looked a little bit less repetitive than it does now. And maybe also some vehicles could have been changed to different types. It's also a nice little building here. I like how he generally keeps the style of the entrance for Bumbly Beach. Maybe it would be nice to have a little scrolling banner over here on the entrance, or maybe just a normal text sign. I do really like this wall that was used, the nautical tile set. I think that actually works pretty well here. Okay, here we have the entry from R. Kirsch. Now this is a very unconventional way to do a parking lot. It's actually on some big stilts, and there's actually some elevators here that bring the cars upwards or downwards. Looks like there's also an elevator for the guests. But yeah, a very unconventional design. But yeah, nobody said that in this contest you have to make something that's realistic. Now below here there's actually a big swimming pool. You also see a guard that's walking underwater here, and some other guests. I guess they're actually swimming. But yeah. It's actually quite a funny design. Definitely not the most realistic, but it's just quite fun to watch. I actually quite like how he did all these cars here these palm trees attached to this big structure in the sky. Definitely a very interesting entry. You can also see some different vehicles over here, and even one of these carts. Yeah, I think it's a very fun entry from Arcurge. Okay, the next entry is from Berm the Bomb. Now he made this really big parking structure, and there's actually also some funny stuff going on. Apparently there's some kind of auto stacker going on, which actually parks these cars or moves them up. And yeah, apparently there's a failure going on, and you can actually see many cars crashing as you keep watching this entry. We see another car being brought in, and then soon probably we'll see another car just crash. Here goes another one. You see it crash down. There's some fire here. Lots of funny scenes going on here. By the way, you can download all these entries from my Discord server if you want to see them for yourself. I cannot possibly cover all the little details that are to see in these entries. But yeah, we can also see some monster trucks. They're actually parked on top of other cars. Very typical. But yeah, lots of funny scenes here. And yeah, I just really like the chaos in this entry, with all the cars falling down and crashing. So some funny names for the staff members here. Todd trying to shut it down. At least there was also someone getting fired here. But yeah, very funny entry from Berm the Bomb. Alright, here we have the entry from Risico. He said he just speed ran an entry. So yeah, he actually built this really quickly. So yeah, this is actually quite a simple parking lot. But I think Risico did a nice job on the detailing. I love these light posts that he made. You can also see a yellow submarine traveling around on this plot, trying out all the open parking spots, I guess. Yeah, some nice details here, like these this entrance here, also with these Q-line televisions. I guess these are supposed to look like the yeah, just like the entry boxes that you normally see at the parking lot, or when you exit. But yeah, also some nice details over here with this shuttle station called Bumbly Beach Express. Now, players were not actually allowed to do anything on this road, so that's why the shuttle just travels back and forth between these two stations. There's also some towers here, some signage. Yeah, even though this was a speed run, yeah, I think Risico did an incredible job with this entry. Okay, next up is an entry that I really liked. This is the entry from Lurker. Now, his style is actually quite recognizable. Lots of greenery around the parking lot. Yeah, also lots of different cars parked here. I actually really like this little scene here. You can see it's called Terrible Parking. You can see a security guard next to it saying, "Really?" You can almost taste the annoyance. But yeah, really funny. Of course, yeah, it's a Lurker entry, so I think the foliage, the decoration is all just really charming. You'll see some handicap parking here. Yeah, it's just a very nice entry. I think Lurker mostly did a really good job on the greenery here. Alright, next up is the entry from Wisconsin. He made this 4-story parking lot, or the parking garage, with these 4 towers in the corners. Yeah, I think this looks pretty nice. Actually used some signs here to make these columns. I think that's pretty clever. Yeah, it's always a nice trick to use, and just gives you some more options to make very thin walls. Yeah, some nice foliage around the parking lot as well. You can see lots of parked cars here. The only thing I probably would have wished for here is maybe some more movement in the plot, some stuff happening, some funny scenes. But other than that, yeah, Wisconsin, I think he did a great job for it, especially since this is his, I believe this is his first entry in one of my contests. So yeah, wonderful job. Okay, here's the entry from Ball Pit Warrior. No, he made a really big parking garage with an impressive roof. Especially like this little road leading up to the parking garage. I think that's done really nicely. Also with a little fountain here in the middle. You can also find a shark face here. I think this is some sort of stage for performers. I think. There's also lots of tables next to it. And yeah, we can also see a little bit of parking space behind the parking lot. You can also see a car driving around here. It's also getting out or lost or something. I guess he just put the guest here, and I guess it's up to the viewer to decide what the guest is actually doing. Now, my complaint about this entry was that in some places it looked a little bit messy, especially, for example, here in the back, with some windows being slanted and some of them not. A little gap here in between. So probably this could have been made a little bit nicer. But I think overall it looks pretty nice. At least it has a very interesting roof structure. Alright, there's just 2 entries remaining. I will first show both of them, and after that I will reveal which one is the winner of the round. This entry is from Kongoy. Yeah, he made this really cool parking lot. And in between all these colors, or these cars, which mostly look the same, the white ones, he put a lot of references to other movies or other culture things. So, for example, I believe this is something from Back to the Future. Correct me if I'm wrong. 1.21 gigawatts. Great, Scott. We're back in the car again. Yeah, lots of reference that I actually didn't get, but probably if you look at this entry, you can probably recognize a lot of things from your favorite movies. Now here's one that I do get, is Mario Kart 64, 4 players. So there's actually 4 go-karts parked right next to here. Looks like I saw a car disappear into this building. Maybe that's just where the cars go that are driving around. I'm gonna take a quick peek underground. I don't expect anything to actually be here. Nope. Here's the parked cars. Okay. But yeah, I think all these references make the entry quite fun to explore. There's also some pretty cool details, like these lamps, which are actually use the front part of an air-powered vertical coaster car. I think that's pretty clever. You can also see the entrance and the exit here for this parking lot. I think they're also done really nicely. They look, yeah, they're just very nice to look at. Also see what looks like a little ambulance here. Not really sure if that's also what it is. Yeah, just tons of funny little references. So it's an entry that looks really nice, with all the references together. That just makes a really good plot. Great work. Alright, and here we have the final entry. This entry is from Enox. Enox made a big parking garage. I believe it even has 5 levels. Yeah, we can see lots of parked cars over here. Also a jet ski, it looks like. But yeah, yeah, just lots of different colored cars. Enox also chose to go for a different palette. I think it actually works pretty well here. The parking garage even has a helipad. Here we can see Dirklink arrives at his park. Well, I don't actually own a helicopter, but who knows? Maybe in the future, if my channel does really well. But yeah, lots of cool little details here. There's even a bicycle parking, a green path for the pedestrians, I guess. We can also see these electrical chargers for electric cars, I guess. You can see some security guards stationary here. Yeah, just so many cool little details here. Yeah, and that's just what we have learned to expect from Enox's entries. Yeah, it's just so fun to go through this entry and to explore it. So yeah, I really recommend for you to go and check out these entries for yourself. They will all be available for download. Alright, with that done, it's now time to reveal who is the winner of this round. Is it the 5-story parking lot from Enox with the helipad? Or is it the entry full of the funny references from Kongoy? And the winner of the mini parking lot contest is... Enox! And it's actually with quite a big point advantage. Yeah, both of these last 2 entries were really good, but yeah, Enox just scored really high with this entry. And yeah, I think he really deserves a high score like that. Yeah, his attention to detail is just so good. His entry is just a feast for the eye. But yeah, there were so many creative entries in this round. I think all the contestants did a great job here. And it just goes to show that you can actually do really cool things when you're tasked to create a parking lot. And it doesn't always really have to be boring. Alright, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like. It would really help out my channel. And I would also like it very much if you could type in the comments in just a few words what you think of these entries and which one is your favorite. I think the contestants would also like to hear that. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.